Hello everyone, my name is Swapna. I am working as an assistant professor in Department of ECE, St. Martin's Engineering College. Welcome to the video lecture. Our today's topic is NMOS fabrication. Let us start with our today's topic. So before going into the NMOS fabrication, let us see what is an IC. So IC is a small electronic circuit which consists of both active and passive components. What are the active components? We have different active components like diodes, transistors, etc. And we have passive components like resistors, capacitors and inductors. So IC will be a small electronic circuit which is consisting of both active and passive components. And now we are fabricating these active and passive components on a thin sheet of semiconductor. Basically, it can be a silicon. So we have two different types of semiconductors like silicon and germanium. We are not preferring germanium due to the drawbacks in germanium, and we are preferring silicon because silicon will have more advantages, like it can work up to 150 degrees centigrade and we can easily form silicon dioxide compared to germanium dioxide, and which is important, very important in the production of IC. So we are considering silicon for the manufacturing of an IC. So what are the advantages of IC? Let us see the major important advantages of an IC. So advantages of IC are, as we have discussed earlier, ICs are small in size. They are small in size. So we can increase the equipment density. So by increasing equipment density in a chip, we can accommodate millions of components and we can make new different types of circuits. Number two, the main important advantage in ICs are we can make ICs with low delay and we can increase the speed, high speed, and also we can have low power consumption. So these are the major advantages of IC which we are considering when we compare to normal electronic circuit. So now let us go to our topic. Different types of ICs we have seen earlier, and now let us see different types of MOSFETs. Coming to the types of transistors which we can fabricate on an IC. So basically transistors are of two types, BJT and MOSFET. So BJT refers to bipolar junction transistor and it is of two types, NPN and PNP. Coming to MOSFET, MOSFET is of different types like PMOS, NMOS and CMOS. So why we are preferring MOSFET compared to BJT in the manufacturing of an IC? Because MOSFET will have all the advantages of an IC which we have discussed earlier, like MOSFET is smaller in size when compared to BJT, and MOSFET will have very low power consumption compared to BJT. MOSFET can be high speed working transistor and it is better switching device and it is bidirectional also. So these are some advantages why we are preferring MOSFET. Now summarizing the topic, we are considering silicon as a wafer for the IC manufacturing, and on the silicon when we are fabricating, we are considering transistor as a MOSFET, and now in the MOSFET we are considering NMOS for the today's fabrication topic. Why we are considering NMOS means, compared to PMOS, NMOS transistors are 2.5 times faster. So we all know that the majority carriers in NMOS are electrons. The majority carriers in PMOS are holes. So compared to the holes, electrons can move 2.5 times faster. So based on these advantages, on the silicon wafer, when we are manufacturing an IC, we are considering the MOSFET, And in the MOSFET, we are considering NMOS as a particular example of MOSFET. So, let us see what is the difference between PMOS and NMOS. So, let us see the basic NMOS structure. Basic NMOS structure. So, this is the MOS structure, in which you can see here we are having a silicon base. This is the silicon base, and on the silicon base we are having two diffusions, and over the diffusion we are having an oxide layer together with the polysilicon. So let us see what are the different parts in a MOS transistor. MOS transistor will have four important parts. They are source, drain, gate and the substrate or the body, which is in ash color here. So this is the substrate which we are considering the silicon as a substrate. Next, diffusion. Two different types of diffusion, one for the source and one for the drain. And at the center we will have the gate terminal. If you see here different types of MOSFETs, if you see this diagram, the first one is representing NMOS transistor and the second one is representing PMOS transistor. What is the difference between these two transistors? When you see the first one in the NMOS transistor, you are having P-type substrate, and if you see in the PMOS transistor, you are having N-type substrate. In the NMOS transistor, you are having source and drain as an N-type. In the PMOS transistor, you are having source and drain as a P-type. Remaining all the gate terminal and the metal contacts will be the same for NMOS and PMOS. The main difference between N and P is the substrate which we are considering for the NMOS and the diffusions which we are considering for the NMOS. Next, the channel. See here, the channel, which is the place, which is the length located between drain and source, is very important in a MOS transistor. Why? Because when we are telling the technology, the name of a technology as 45 nanometer technology means it is nothing but the length of the channel between drain and source. That itself becomes the name of the technology. So the channel is a very important place in a MOS transistor. Now let us start with our topic, which is NMOS fabrication. Before going into the fabrication or the manufacturing of NMOS, let us know what to be fabricated in this NMOS. We are going to be fabricated a transistor like this with gate. What is a gate material? What is a drain material? What is the source material? And what are the metal contacts? We can see here. So the body or the substrate should be P-type for a NMOS transistor, and the diffusion, source and drain and source would be N-type diffusions, and on the gate we are placing polysilicon with a silicon dioxide layer, and at last at the top we are having the three terminals like source terminal, gate terminal and drain terminal. These three terminals will constitute our NMOS transistor. Now we have known that what to be fabricated as a drain, as a source and as a gate, what to be fabricated. Now let us see where to be fabricated. Where is the gate to be fabricated? Gate is to be fabricated exactly at the middle of the substrate. This is the place where we are going to fabricate the gate. And drain is to be fabricated on the both sides of the substrate. Drain and source are to be fabricated on both sides of the substrate. Now coming to the metal contacts are to be placed on source, gate and drain. These three terminals which we are going to use when we are using any transistor, we are going to use these three terminals. So we need metal contacts on these terminals. Now let us start with our process. These are the different important steps which we include in an IC fabrication. For our NMOS fabrication also, these are the different steps which we include. First one is wafer preparation. We have to prepare the silicon base wafer. And the second one is oxidation. And the third one is a main important process known as photolithography. And this process is a combination of masking and etching. These two processes together known as photolithography. And the fourth one is chemical vapor deposition. In shortcut, it is known as CVD process. And fifth one is either diffusion or ion implantation. We'll use this method, this technique for the formation of source and drain. And next one is metallization. Last step is packaging of IC. Now, by knowing the names of these different types of ICs, let us start with the process of IC fabrication. This is the first step in the IC fabrication. In the first step, we are considering a P substrate. How you are considering a P substrate? We have to take a silicon wafer we have to consider a silicon wafer, and on the silicon wafer, we are adding p-type impurities. So, example of p-type impurities are boron. We are considering a silicon wafer. Take a silicon wafer, and on the silicon wafer, we are adding p-type impurities. P-type impurities, and the best example for the p-type impurity is boron. So, how we can add this boron? This boron should be added to the silicon with the concentration of 10 power 15 to 10 power 16 per centimeter cube. That means per every centimeter cube, we can add 10 power 15 to 10 power 16 boron ions in order to form our substrate for the NMOS fabrication. So, this is our first step in which we have made the P substrate. Next, coming to the next step, this is an oxide layer, oxidation step. What is an oxide layer? Silicon dioxide. So, silicon dioxide SiO2 is our oxide layer. We have to place the SiO2 on the substrate with the thickness of 1 micrometer. The thickness of this SiO2 layer is 1 micrometer. So, why we are using this SiO2 layer means the main advantage of this SiO2 layer is it will protect our substrate. It will act like a barrier to our substrate. It will not make any chemical reaction from the outside to be happened with this substrate. Next, coming to our third step, this is photoresist layer. This photoresist layer to be placed over the SiO2 layer. So, what is the purpose of this photoresist layer? This photoresist layer will be light sensitive layer. So, this photoresist layer will help us in masking and etching process, which is the next important step we have discussed earlier. It is known as photolithography. Before doing masking and etching, we are going to place a photoresist layer. This photoresist layer is of two types. What are the two different types of photoresist layer means? We'll have positive photoresist layer and we'll have negative photoresist layer. Like that, in the further step, we will have positive masking, and in the next step, we can also have negative masking. We can consider either one of these maskings, positive masking and negative masking. So, what is the main purpose of this masking? When we are willing to form the gate in the transistor at the center, we will place a mask like this. We will send UV light on this masking layer. So, we have placed previously a silicon dioxide, SiO2 layer, and this is photoresist layer. And over the photoresist layer, we are placing a mask layer. This is our mask layer. And coming to the positive mask, what will happen means the place where we have selected, where we have kept as transparent. So, at the middle will become our masking layer highlighted area. The place where we are highlighting would be our targeted area to form the gate region. So, consider here what are the differences between positive mask and negative mask. Let us see the difference between positive mask and negative mask. So, in the negative mask also, we are having here photoresist layer. Under photoresist layer, we are having SiO2 layer, and we have considered the P substrate at the beginning. This is our P substrate. Now, let us see what is the difference between positive masking and what is the difference between negative masking. So, in the negative masking, the region which we have highlighted here will be not affected by the UV light. It will become soft here, and the remaining places directly exposed by the UV light will become hard here. So, positive mask means it is exactly opposite. What will happen in positive mask means the region which we have shaded here will become soft, and the region which we have left directly, the light sensitive region, will become hard here. And what's the next step of masking? We are doing the next step as etching. What is the process of etching? In the etching, we will place this substrate in HF solution. HF solution means it is hydrofluoric acid. When we dip this substrate in hydrofluoric acid, the regions which we are softened will be dissolved in the acid. The regions which are hard will remain at the end. So finally, we can follow either positive masking or negative masking. Here I am discussing about positive masking. Let us see the next process using positive masking. So we can see here we have placed the photoresist layer and the next step is masking. See here we have placed positive mask. Earlier I have discussed two different types of masking. Here we are using positive mask and this is the opaque area or the transparent region. This region, when we pass the ultraviolet rays, what it will become? The opaque region will become dissolved. It will make dissolved by the acid. Next, this is the next step where we are sending UV light on the masking region. We are sending the UV light to the substrate. After sending the UV light, the photoresist layer will be hit by the UV light and the continuation process of masking is etching process. In the etching process, when we dip that substrate in HF solution, this is known as chemical etching. When we dip that substance or a substrate in the HF solution, what will happen means the region which is transparent here, which is soft here, will be dissolved in the HF solution. So this is a combination process. In this process, we are placing photoresist layer and then we are doing positive masking and then we are performing etching. After etching, we can see there is a window clearly for the formation of gate. Now we are ready to place the gate. We are ready to form the gate. So every time when we want the required shape, when we got the required shape, we are now placing again a thin oxide layer over the surface. Why? What is the purpose of oxide layer? Oxide layer is used to protect our substrate because oxide layer will act like a barrier. It will protect our substrate and it will help our substrate to be pure, 100% pure. Next, we are placing a thin oxide layer and later we are following chemical vapor deposition process, CVD process. Using the CVD process, we are placing polysilicon, which is red in color here. We are placing polysilicon over the entire substrate. So now polysilicon is placed over the entire substrate on silicon dioxide layer. This polysilicon should be concentrated only at the center to form the gate terminal of NMOS transistor. What we have to do? At the center, we need only the gate terminal. We have to remove polysilicon on either sides because we have to form source and drain here. What we are doing is, we are again performing masking and etching repeatedly for removing the unwanted areas. Now, before doing the masking and etching for the second time, what we are doing? We are placing again a photoresist layer. You can see here which is in brown color. This is photoresist layer. Next, coming to the next step, we are again placing mask. Now, the region is opaque on both sides. The region is opaque on both sides. Means what will happen after etching? This region which is opaque on both sides will be dissolved in HF acid. We will get only the gate at the center. Let us see the diagram. Now we are passing the UV light in the masking state and next we are doing etching process and finally we will have polysilicon which is concentrated only at the center. This center part will be our gate of the transistor, NMOS transistor. Now the next process is, we are going to diffuse N-type and P-type, both the diffusions. NMOS transistor, because it is an NMOS transistor should have source and drain as N-types. Now we are diffusing N diffusion here using the process known as ion implantation. So here the diffused regions are known as N diffusion regions, one for the source and other for the drain. And the process we are following is known as ion implantation. What's the process of ion implantation? We have to basically take an N-type material. N-type materials examples are phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth. Let us consider phosphorus as an N-type material. This N-type material, what we are doing is, we are bombarding an amount of N-type material like phosphorus to the N region. So we are going to create drain and source using ion implantation method. Now in the ion implantation method, we have bombarded the ions, which are phosphorus ions, into the substrate at these two regions, one for the source and other for the drain. And we are having the gate at the center, which is polysilicon represented in red in color here. Now we are placing N diffusion and P diffusion here. You can clearly observe these two N regions are our next two terminals. Next process is oxidation process. Why we are going again to the oxidation means, now that we have seen the gate is formed at the center. Source and drain, both end diffusions are occurring at either sides of the substrate. Means we have got all the terminals for the NMOS transistor. This end diffusion is for the source and this end diffusion is for the drain, and at the center we are having polysilicon. Whenever we have got our required structure, we need to place silicon dioxide on the top of the substrate to protect our substrate. Now we are placing oxide layer, which is SiO2 layer again, and then now we are finally placing metal contacts for source, drain and gate. This process is known as metallization. Before going to the metallization, we have to clear the metal contact regions for these three terminals. At the drain, source and gate, we have to clear some region for making metal contacts. For that one, again we are processing photolithography process. So what is the photolithography process? Initially, we are going to place photoresist layer on the top of the substrate, and after the photoresist layer, we are now placing this mask. See here, this mask is different from the previous mask because we need only contacts at the drain, source and gate. So that's why we are shading all the region, and the transparent region only will be at the source, drain and gate. That's it. So now after passing UV light on that one, we will have these regions which are vacant are these regions which are etched away using HF solution, and these regions we can place aluminum at the contact, which is known as metallization process. So let us see the metallization process. In the metallization process, what we will do after etching, we will have like this. After passing to the hydrofluoric acid, you have previously seen that we will have these contacts, and now we are seeing metallization process. Now the final step and important step is metal contacts. We have to place metal contacts on these three terminals. For that metal contacts itself, we have done masking and etching process previously. So masking and etching has left some small gap at the drain, source and gate. Now what we are doing means, we are placing an aluminum, we are depositing aluminum over the complete surface of the substrate with a thickness of 1 micrometer. It should be only 1 micrometer. So this 1 micrometer metal contact, aluminum contact is placed on the surface. Now you can see that it is exactly touching directly to the source and drain and gate, because we have made contacts only at that region using photolithography. Using masking and etching, we had made some gap at that regions. Now afterwards also, finally at the last step, we are performing masking and etching again now, because we need only metal contacts at the terminals. We don't need metal contacts on the complete substrate. So what we will do, we will place aluminum only at the drain, source and gate. For that one, we are again performing masking and etching and leaving only metal contact at that places. So you can see that finally we have got metal contacts at source, drain and also the gate. The gate will have the metal contact. So overall, we have to make the packaging. What is the purpose of packaging? Packaging will provide the protection to our IC. Packaging will protect our IC. Whether the IC may be an analog IC or digital IC, we can use for any purpose. This IC will be protected by packaging. Packaging is of many types. Depending on the number of components on that IC, we can use either plastic or ceramic or different types of packaging. It is completely different concept regarding the IC packaging. So the last step is the protection layer to our manufactured fabricated IC. So we are placing an oxide layer with this extra insulating layer. We are concluding the process of NMOS fabrication. So the last step is packaging in NMOS fabrication. See here, we can see this process of NMOS fabrication in our particular NMOS fabrication video. So you can see the process of NMOS fabrication here. Let us see the first step. This is our first step, in which we have selected a substrate. What is our substrate here? P substrate. We have selected the P substrate, right? So this is our silicon wafer. And coming to our next step, you see in this video, we have placed silicon dioxide layer. The purpose of silicon dioxide layer is, it is protecting the substrate. So this blue color silicon dioxide layer is protecting our P substrate here. This P substrate is not reacting with any other chemicals from the outside. So SiO2 layer will act like a barrier. Next, our next step is photoresist layer, which is red in color here. Why we are placing photoresist layer? In order to do masking and etching. Let us see the masking and etching in this video. Let us continue. This photoresist layer is a light sensitive layer. Now we are placing a mask layer over top of it and passing UV light to the substrate. You can see here this is softened photoresist, and after passing through the etching solution, you can see here, after passing through the etching solution, what will happen? This softened photoresist will be removed away, because we have discussed earlier that we have used HF solution, means hydrofluoric acid, as a etching solution, which is used to dissolve the masked region. This is our target region to form the gate structure. So immediately we are clearing the space, we are clearing the photoresist at the middle of the substrate. At both ends, at either ends, we are going to form drain and source afterwards. So let us see the next step in this video. After etching, what we are going to do? We are now placing again SiO2. We are now removing the leftover parts. After etching, we are removing the leftover parts, and now we are performing the next process, which is known as diffusion. In diffusion, we are going to insert N diffusion and P diffusion. Before going to that, we have to make these regions as empty. For that, we have placed photoresist layer, and we are performing masking. If you observe here, what we have done here, we are placing a photoresist layer, and we are making these two regions. These two regions are our target regions now, because we are going to form source here, we are going to form drain here. So these are our target regions. So for this process, if you see here in this video, what will happen means, the substrate, we are placing again polysilicon layer, and again we are doing masking and etching. Immediately in this diagram, if you see here, after masking and etching, we are having the two regions, targeted regions, and now we are diffusing N plus diffusion. Clearly observe that we are forming NMOS transistor, so we need N plus diffusion, which is green in color here. After N plus diffusion, what we will do means, we are again placing silicon dioxide. Why we are again placing silicon dioxide means, if you see here, we are having drain, source and gate. All the three terminals are formed. So in order to protect this one, we are again placing silicon dioxide on the top of the substrate. So finally, what is the next step? We have all the terminals and we need metal contacts. So you can see here, we have three different metal contacts. So we are having three different metal contacts here at the three terminals, source, drain and gate. So these three terminals, you can see here, this is source, this is drain and this is gate. All the black color represents the metal, which is aluminum metal we have placed with thickness of 1 micrometer. So this is the final step which we are using, which is known as metallization. After metallization, we can easily use this transistor. Later we will package this transistor and we will use this transistor in our purposes, in our applications. So hope you have understood this complete process of NMOS fabrication. Thank you.